Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Automation Empire. I've been watching these trains just kind of load for a little while, and playing with some things just to kind of understand how they work. And I've made a couple of observations. Okay, so let's start with a simple one first. Do you remember back in the last episode when I said, I thought that train had 4 cars, this one has 5? That seems to be directly related to the number of silos that you've placed down on the track. If you place down more silos, it brings more cars on the train, which is a good thing to know. It looks like, I haven't done any really scientific studies on it, but it looks like it's going to be about the number of silos you have plus 2. Is what that number seems to be. I could be wrong. That's just based off of a very small sample of trains, basically 2, that I have collected so far. Another thing that I've noticed is kind of these behaviors as the trains go through the silo. And do we have one coming here soon? Fairly soon. That'll be good. You would expect, the train to basically unload these one. It's going to come with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 cars. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you'd expect it to unload these 8 silos, and then just kind of move on. But what you may observe here is that we're going to empty out this one, and this one's going to start sucking up and refilling, basically off this train car, and it's going to get completely full again. And then we're going to go to the next one, and then that one's going to empty out. And if this other train comes, you'll see that same stall. Basically, what that means is that these 3 or 4 silos have not been emptied since they've been filled, and I've added all these. I added a second train, too. I'm not sure if you observed that. So yeah, okay, so here comes the other train. It's going to catch this right here and fill it up. So this car will be filled by this one. If it catches it, it's not. It's going to catch this one. But the next car is going to be filled by this one. Or possibly even this one, since that one's probably going to fill up in time. So that's interesting. Another observation I made, just kind of looking at this behavior, is I dumped off the extra in this tank right here. And if you look at this train, we only have 1 silo that has the capacitors in it, yet we've already filled up 2 cars. And we're going to fill up a 3rd. So if we had a bigger tank here, I think we could basically fill up this whole train just off this 1 tank. But then again, you run into things like, yeah, and it doesn't have a full one, so it's going to stop. And we're going to get the rest of these in steel. But we'll see the same thing come when the steel train comes around. And like these 2, I don't think they ever get unloaded. So, that's kind of something that, a behavior that we need to kind of address, I think, or kind of think about. Because I was thinking these trains wouldn't last very long, but this is the second time this train's been through here, and it's going to go ahead and refill that one, and we're just gonna get stuff. The other thing is that these trains are very, very slow. Very slow, especially when they get very long, and we have this, like, infinite fill loop right here. And I've seen them be here for a month and a half being loaded. I didn't keep track of this one, but I'm assuming it's about that. Now, they make a ton of money and a ton of weight as they leave, but it's not really impacted our 3-month weight output as much as I thought it would. Can we get the current? Yeah, our current one is only 8,000, even though we had a good year where the train timings were good. So I think the obvious answer here is going to be more trains. I don't know of any problem that's not answered by more trains. But I think we can use these larger containers here maybe to make a more optimal system for train unloading and loading. So we don't end up like this guy right here, and he's going back home with a completely full load, which is not what we want to see. Let's just take a peek over here at the factory and see how it's doing. Oh, we've got so many components. And that's another thing I did, was I added a couple more of these storage tanks. I was kind of playing with the idea of maybe running even more trains, which looks like we're going to be able to do, no problem. We'll have to look at that design a little bit later. But boy, that's a lot of components. Yeah, I meant capacitors. All right, I also made some modifications over here in our steel factory. You know, we set it up to use the connecting tubes. Is that what they're called? Connector tubes? I don't remember. Just connectors. Okay, no tube. We don't have to be formal here. We already did that, and I set up one of these crate makerless setups, and have been able to support 4 without a problem. They don't run full time, but one thing you'll notice, you remember how we had the backup of ore here? We don't have that backup of ore anymore. It is all under control. We have a backup of coal right now, which is sort of expected since coal smelts a lot, or mines a lot faster than iron. But it's doing pretty well. We don't have a big surplus of steel right here because there's this thing whenever you reload a save game, it turns these things that you've turned off, it turns them back on. And it's kind of annoying, but it's really okay because I think I want to just quickly go through, before we get too far into dealing with train stuff, I want to get some of this all taken out and set up research again. While still running steel out to our trains. All right, how much do we have in here? We have 10. 24. Okay, how big is our train? Are all our silos full? Where's our train? Is it coming back home? Okay, good. We'll drain some of that out. Let's get rid of this train. And yeah, let's just X all of this out. Okay. And oh, actually, I wanted to leave those. Those are going to be spitter outers. And let's go ahead and leave that unpaused, so it will go ahead and suck that steel out. I'm wanting to get science hooked back up. That is the goal here. And I think what I want to do is put you right here. And get rid of these guys. And something I found, I don't know how profound this is. I'm sure probably many have discovered by now. But if we do a setup like this, it's going to evenly distribute the contents of the tanks across all of the different tankages there. And let's see, I want another train track running right here, but that is actually not going to work. I tell you what, we're running 4 of these. I think that's too many. So let's do a redesign of this as well, because I want to get basically 2 trains running off of this, and I want you to unload on one side, you to unload on the other, and I want to take that out. Actually, you know what? I think I want to leave that, now that I'm thinking about it. I'm going to take you out, and can we get you up on the next level right there? Oh yeah, it'll fit perfectly. Okay, and we'll make this one our train that is actually going out and doing the selling of things, and then the other one will feed the science. Okay, I want one of these. Let's see, that needs to be that far apart. Let's do it there, there, and there. And then, was it yellow, yellow, yellow? blue, 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 green, green, green. All those in, out, out. Is that good? Okay, so we turn that one to blue, that one to yellow, this one to green, and I think that gets us set. All right, we need to move our window over here, though, and as luck would have it, there would be a power pole right there. Can we make a curve? Yeah, we'll make a curve. Just kind of sneak out the back. That train is going to be way too long. That'll probably be fine. All right, that's looking good here. This is going to be an episode about trains. Sorry, I thought this was going to be a little 5-minute thing. Sometimes things aren't. This is important, though. We have to research things. And I have been falling very, very far behind on that. What do we got going on here? Oh. Let's see. How is this going to work? Oh boy, I really don't want to give up that speed bonus. This doesn't need to be here anymore. We're going to be redoing that because that's going to be research. And yeah, see, it all just works out in the end. You're going to come on down like that. Ooh, I don't know if that will clear. It looks like it will. That, unfortunately, doesn't always mean... No, it's fine. Okay, and that'll come... And that'll be your new home. Let's try that again. That'll be your new home. Okay, so you'll come in here on this track and get filled up with steel, while we have another train here that is going to come, and that is going to connect back up to research. And get that good old raw research a-flowing. And eventually, we're going to have to get this converted over to doing components. Capacitors. But I figure if we have a tank kind of set up like this, it should be a fairly easy transition to do. Let's get a couple of cars here. I don't know, 6? Sounds good. And yeah, we'll continue to let this flow. All right, so we have a nice big train coming in here. I was doing that 3. I don't think that necessarily needs to be 3. We could probably do 1. How does the spacing on this work with these? Okay, pretty good. So it looks like we could do 2 of these off of one of these big storage tanks. Okay, so we'll wait for this train to leave. Okay, and we'll trim that off. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and send you back. Because I think I want this station to drain out as well. All right. Okay, so we're done. We're done with you guys. You guys are all done. Okay, let's see. I want to get kind of the more central ones, I believe, so the train has plenty of room to move. I want to put that tank there. Is that too far away? Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? And actually, you know what? If this works the way that does that not work? Am I missing something there? Okay, I just didn't have it close enough. Yeah, and it may actually be that will be plenty. Just having this one. And my thought here is if we could fill this whole train off of that one container, and I'm not sure if just having these here will make the train bigger, but we could adjust the train length using these dummy silos and just load it off of this one, and then find the optimal train length so that it loads and gets full, but it also kind of skedaddles, if you know what I mean. All right, so let's just give this a shot and see if it'll work. I mean, I'm pretty sure it'll work. I just don't know if it'll work effectively. So that will come down. Let's see, if we left this here, and we took that up, and we took that up, would that minimize the slow train time? From my observations, I mean, the carts move slower on level 1 than they do on level 2 and level 3, and it looks like they move slow as long as there is one cart on level 1. So, we'll see. We'll see if that works. No sense in not getting every little bit of speed out of our trains that we can. Level 3, that was hitting the lab there. Take that across. Okay, and our timing is going to be perfect, but we need a pause because we don't have our backup lane done yet. Take it, I don't know, something like that. Is that going to be long enough? Maybe. All right, let's see how this works. I don't think it'll unload faster, but it'll rebound faster. This holds 120. So if we get that full, that would be 7.5. And then we would have one in the chamber here. Do we have a train coming soon? Okay, yeah, we do. But that one train would keep that going, and then we just make more stations, right? To maximize the throughput. Oh, we still have just a ton of stuff in reserve, but you know, what are you gonna do? One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. I think it's going to go ahead and do the right amount of cars. Based off of our dummy silos that we've set here. This isn't going to have much of an issue with that. And our train's going to come just in time to ensure that this train's going to be full. Very good. We've got some science done over here. You're probably not getting as much as you could because that train's not backing up fast enough. Because these should all be fairly even. I expect this one to be ahead of everybody, and he's not. So much for expectations. I kind of feel this train is a little bit too long. I did not check our start month. But I don't think he's going to get out of here before the end of July. We're looking at a mid-August departure, probably. All right, that's going to do him. We're actually not going to have enough to fill up. That trip did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so optimally, we could take 2 of those off, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 2 would be 8. If that formula holds fast. We shall see. All right, get these tasty science points here. That's up to 621,000. Our next unlock is going to be, let's see, we can't do oil because we don't have gold fuel. We need to work on that. We can do waterworks. Connecting into my water system. Yeah, let's do that. All right, something new. Fantastic. Okay, so I think I'm going to redo some of these stations here and see if we can't get a little bit more throughput out of these trains. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode where we will take a look at some waterworks. And is this still running? No deadlock? Everything good? Fantastic. All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.